A routine mark time fight. Let me tell you straight away that Anthony Maynard's camp are very, very confident that they are going to upset him here. There is Maynard. He's 26. He's lost a couple of times in 15 fights, but Pat Cowdell, his trainer, says he would be prepared to bet money on Maynard beating Ayers tonight. And Michael Ayers with the black trunks, 33 years of age now, as you've been hearing. His career really has been put into freeze frame. It's all gone wrong. No world title opportunity against Artur Grigorian. Long absences from the ring. He has to get things moving again, and of course he has to win. Otherwise he can forget the whole thing.
Yes, I think there's always the danger that he could have just switched off, thinking his career's going nowhere, because he's had long delays and he really wants a world title shot badly. So I think, you know, fights like this can be dangerous when you're just waiting.
Maynard 7 years younger, from Birmingham. Ayers from Tooting in South London. Man who won the British title against Paul Burke in 1995 and made 4 successful defences before relinquishing the championship. Won a Lonsdale bout in what at the time was record time. Good fighter, may still be our best lightweight, though you'd get arguments about that from WBU champion Colin Dunn, Billy Schwer and Wayne Rigby. Ayers does actually hold a victory over Colin Dunn in what was a very exciting fight, 9th round stoppage in Ayers' favour. Oh, good left hook, that one from Ayers. Found the button with that.
Yes, Maynard's trying to use a lot of movement, but Ayers is just cutting the ring off well, following Maynard, quickly getting him in the corners.
Ayers in the solid black trunks, remember the red and black of Maynard. Doing most of the pressing in this opening round, the former British champion.
As he started quite well, he looks strong in there.
Maynard finding it hard to make too much of an impression as yet. Maynard's camp feel that their man could be too quick and mobile for Ayers. There's been no sign of that in what we've seen so far.
He's adopting lots of mobility, Maynard, but just doesn't look strong, and he's quick to get to him, Ayers.
Very definitely Ayers' first round. Come back to Whitchurch in Bristol, and you're looking at Michael Ayers, world-class lightweight from Great Britain, and he looked a very good fighter in that opening round against Anthony Maynard. Great left hook, that one, Glenn.
That's a good left hook, got plenty leverage on that punch, just didn't quite catch it flush. Maynard was quick to move away from that.
Second round, due to go 8 this one. Maynard looked to me as if he was a little bit tense in that opening round, which could have been the reason why he didn't really get his movement going. Just seemed to have been frozen a little, suddenly realised the quality of opponent he was in there with.
Yes, he was giving Ayers a lot of respect.
Much lighter on his feet at the start of the second, though, Maynard. I think the corner have told him, come on, get on your feet, dance. Get in and out with some quick punches and away again. Don't let this fellow walk you down.
Well, that's certainly the best bet for Maynard, to use plenty movement in and out, fast punches, but it's going to be difficult to do that throughout this fight. He's constantly pressing Ayers.
Good right hand from Maynard there, but had to take the left back from Ayers. He didn't manage to get away again, Maynard.
He's trying to be very speedy in there, Maynard. Lots of movement.
Just a question of whether Ayers can pin him down and cut off the corners. Good right hand over the top there from Maynard. He's only got 4 knockout wins to his name. He's a light puncher. His route to victory, if there is a route, is on points, you'd think, Maynard. Boxing skills has to be the key for him, and speed.
Ayers is heavy-handed, and you would... Again, he lands the quick right, Maynard.
Ayers is a dedicated trainer. He's kept working during his long absences from the ring, during all his frustrations. But at 33, he's unlikely to be getting any better, you'd feel.
Yes, you wouldn't think so. And in this round, Maynard, his tactics have worked quite well. He's used good speed and occasionally landed with quick right hands.
Much better from Maynard in round 2, and he has frustrated Ayers. At least he's fighting his fight now, Maynard, which he wasn't in the first round.
Again, good punches from Maynard, just getting speedy combinations off, and then looking to close inside. He doesn't want to give Ayers any room to get his heavy punches on.
Well, former world-class featherweight, working the corner with Anthony Maynard, who did much better in round 2 here against Michael Ayers.
Yes, I would have given Maynard that round. His plan was working right, lots of movement, then quickly just stopping and throwing a couple of punches and then getting close and tying Ayers up.
So here's the 3rd round. In the first, Ayers, quite honestly, just looked a notch or two too good for Maynard, but it's changed around now strategically, this, and it's getting interesting. Here's the 3rd round. Maynard showing why Pat Cowdell and the team behind him had such confidence in him pulling this one off tonight. It really would be a huge win for him. Massive win.
That would be a big win for Maynard. Again, showing good hand speed, jumping in, getting a quick left hook and then away.
Well, he's fancying the job now, all right. He's going through the full routine. Ayers won't like that.
He won't. He's growing. Obviously, he's growing in confidence, Maynard. But I think he's got to be careful of that, because Ayers is a very good professional and is quite a puncher.
Ayers has got problems now in there. The speed and darting attacks of Maynard just making Ayers look comparatively laborious. Look at him hitting the air there. Just can't pin this guy down. It must be infuriating to fight people with this style. It must be like going in there with a bag of confetti, trying to fight some confetti.
Very, very difficult. And it's very frustrating. I think that's the danger for Ayers, that he starts to get frustrated, starts to do things he wouldn't normally do, take chances, and then he gets caught with these fast counters.
Again, the right hand from Maynard, who is quickly dancing away out of trouble again. Ayers would much prefer somebody who stood in front of him and had a battle with him. Right hand got through from Ayers, though. Danger of overconfidence from Maynard, who's having his best round here.
It's good success again from Maynard. The right hand's landing. He's finding Ayers quite an easy target to connect with.
Ayers again caught on the way in by the right. He's not a heavy-handed puncher or anything like that, Maynard, but these are scoring shots.
He knows what to do when they come close. He's holding, waiting for the referee to break them. that also will be frustrating Ayers.
Just first to the punch most of the time, Maynard.
Yes, I think his extra speed is just the key at this point.
Definitely Maynard's round.
We're at Taunton on Sunday, live cricket from 2, Sky Sports 3. Here now, live tonight, Michael Ayers, top lightweight, having a hard night against Anthony Maynard. Here's round 4, back to Glenn and Ian.
Yeah, thanks, Paul. Ayers might be behind here. I've got it level. I think you've got him behind, haven't you?
I've got him behind. I've given Maynard the last 2 rounds. He's growing in confidence. He's finding Ayers quite easy to hit, and the tactics are good from Maynard.
And the ringside whispers during the inter-round break among the hardened experts were that, well, maybe this Maynard has got the style to win, but remember that Ayers has the power. Of his 22 wins, 20 have come inside schedule. He beat Alan Temple in 2 rounds last time. And there's still a long way to go for Maynard to make this strategy work.
That's right, there's always the danger that he just tires or he gets overconfident, starts standing with Ayers. Tactics are working well to this point, but he's still got to keep that going.
He got caught with a right hand there, Maynard, in that exchange, and making the very mistake that Glenn was identifying earlier on of standing and having a fight with Ayers. There's only one winner as long as it's like that. He has to go back to what he was doing successfully in the last round.
Yes, he can't afford to stand and trade with Ayers. He is much the better puncher. Ayers is just starting to get through. And Maynard just looking a little more flustered.
Ayers has got him where he wants him here. Looking wild, and he somehow abandoned the very style that was working for him, Maynard, which is almost impossible to understand.
Yes, for some reason he wanted to stay in, probably overconfidence, stay inside and try and slug it out with Ayers, and he was caught with a punch, and now the plan's just gone a bit. He's struggling to get his movement, and you know, he's content to stay close to Ayers.
So yet another mood shift in this round as Ayers gets through with a body punch here. He's starting to look open as well, Maynard. And these kind of inside exchanges will only be in Ayers' favour, where he can use his strength. Breathing a little heavier, Maynard. Ayers getting in with 2 left hooks. And Maynard now, what happened to the speed? What happened to the movement? It's all gone.
Yes, he seems to be panicked, and now he's standing in close and trying to fight.
That was Ayers' round, and it was a kind of boxing suicide by Maynard in the other corner. Was that inexperience by him?
I'm not sure why really he would abandon the tactics which were working. He did seem to be getting somewhat confident. Then he decided to just stand and test the chin of Ayers. Got caught there, just pushed over. But a good right hand landed there.
Do you think it's the old macho thing here, Glenn, where Maynard thought, yeah, I'll show him that I can not only be the boss dancing around him, jabbing and moving, that I can stand and trade with him and still be the superior man?
I think that probably came into it, but once he was caught with the right hand, then panic crept in, and I think his work, you know, he just lost the plot here, and then he was standing, and it just seemed as if he'd been panicked.
Only one punch in it on the computer printout of punches landed. There's no doubt at all that Burke won the first, Ayers won the first and fourth round. Maynard will have won the third. You could argue with the second, it was probably Maynard.
Well, they've got it level, but Maynard has got to get back to his fight plan. Plenty of movement and just try and outspeed Ayers at range.
Good right hand and then a left as well from Maynard. Now he's back trying to move again. I should think Pat Cowdell gave him a real earful in the corner.
I was going to say Pat Cowdell will have told him, get back to what you were doing so well.
Again, elects to trade. Maynard has to take a left hook for it.
Ayers has got to try and get those hands free and work away when he's inside. He can't just be allowed to be tied up.
Looking open though, Ayers himself.
Sometimes he has been quite easy to hit.
One of the first things a fighter loses with age is the reflexes. Maybe just being hit by one or two punches he wouldn't have been hit with in the days when he was British champion and making those 4 defences. Victories over Paul Burke, Charles Shepherd and Colin Dunn look particularly good now when you think what those fighters have gone on to achieve.
Yes, he just seems to be lacking some sharpness, Ayers, but I think the inactivity maybe has something to do with that.
It's not the speed in the legs, though, of Maynard now. Some of the freshness has gone out of him. He's paying the penalty for choosing to mix it in the last round. Just get the impression in this phase of the fight, don't you, Glenn, that Ayers' strength and extra experience and top-class opposition of old is going to get this job done for him.
Yes, the extra strength and power just seems to be starting to tell.
Fiction here at this point, you'd probably say Ayers will be the eventual winner, but that's what the computer says on the action so far, that Maynard has landed 4 more punches. That's not a definitive guide, it's helpful.
Yes, but just seeing there, he's still quite easy to hit Ayers, so there's always hope if he keeps to his game plan that Maynard can maybe just pinch a decision here. That's what he's got to try and do.
Round 6 of this 8-rounder. Michael Ayers in the solid black trunks, the former British lightweight champion, the man who went in for the world title and lost against Giovanni Parisi in what was his only defeat in 24 fights. Be a massive upset if he was to lose his way here against Maynard, but Maynard has given him a pretty good test. No knockdown.
Ayers just pushing him down. I think frustration's creeping in. I think he'd like the referee to break them quicker because Maynard is holding a lot inside.
More freshness in those legs from Maynard.
Just can't get the distance, the range right. Ayers. Maynard moving quite well, and then as he comes in, he's grabbing Ayers, and it's frustrating for Ayers.
Ayers, rather arm weary look about that attempted right hand. Maynard doing most so far in this one.
Maynard still having success. The left hook just quicker than Ayers, and he's getting in sharper with it.
Greater accuracy from him in this round as well. And it's proving desperately hard work, this, for Michael Ayers. But remember, he's only had a couple of rounds of action since November of 1996. The two he had against Alan Temple in March. And I think the ring rust is showing a little here too. Doesn't matter how much work you do in the gym, you do need to stay fight sharp.
And he just can't get his punches to land right. He can't get the range right. And Maynard doing much better in this round. They're just trying to pull the hands free.
This is definitely Maynard's round.
Ayers is coming on strong toward the end of the round, having some success here.
But not enough, I think, to pull the round around, if you get my meaning. It's close, this one. Still to come, we have Mark Prince on the verge. He hopes of a world light heavyweight title shot, but he has to win tonight against Kenny Wack, a respectable opponent from the United States, fighting for the IBF Intercontinental light heavyweight title. Here's what Prince thinks about the fight.
I don't know much about Kenny Wack, to be quite honest, but I know everything about me, and I'm going to take care of business as usual. I'm going to perform well. I'm going to take him out.
Well, Mark Prince unbeaten in 17 fights, 14 inside schedule, 11 inside 3 rounds, but occasionally his own punch resistance has looked a bit questionable, to put it mildly.
Yes, he's just been getting caught when he shouldn't be. He's getting frustrated in the ring tonight. Can't get his hands free, can't work the way he wants to. And Maynard doing a good job.
Here's round 7. Solid black trunks of Michael Ayers. The red and black of Anthony Maynard. You've got it level, Glenn.
I have, with Maynard just pulling it back there. And this is still an interesting fight. Good tactics from Maynard. Just really, can he keep the game plan going?
Ebbed and flowed, this one. Almost had alternate rounds of domination. I think whatever happens, Maynard's certainly done his reputation a power of good here. Good work from Ayers. Combinations to the body, then a right hand.
Well, should the corner of Ayers have told him it's tight, you've got to work harder, you've got to get these punches off.
A lot of inside work now. Decent looking left hooks there, some hitting the gloves, but a couple getting through from Maynard. I think they both sense this is close-ish. Oh, great right hand from Maynard.
That was a terrific shot from Maynard. Nice flurry inside and came away with a big right hand, and he's been able to land that punch quite a bit.
Ayers' defence has looked poor, really, and he's grateful, I should think, that Maynard is not a heavier puncher. Gum shield problems for Maynard.
not as much movement from Maynard, but he's working well inside. That extra bit of speed that he has is serving him better.
Just that extra hand speed, and maybe Maynard might have nicked that round. Not a lot in it, though.
Well, I think the better work from Maynard now will have just got him the round. He was just the busier, the faster punches, and he worked well inside.
So there's only 3 minutes to go here. What about this, Glenn?
Well, it's been a very good performance from Maynard. He's managed to outspeed Ayers and frustrate him. There's a good right hand going in, and Ayers' defense has not been too good in this fight. He just seemed to have lacked that little bit of zip and been off the pace.
And you've got Maynard winning, have you?
I've got Maynard 1 point ahead at this point.
And I've got it level at this point. Maynard has landed a few more punches, although in the corner there, Maynard just seems a little distressed. He's coughing. Certainly feeling the pace of the battle. Pat Caldell gives him a pat and says, come on, as they come out for this final round. And victory by no means assured here for Michael Ayers, who certainly cannot afford a defeat if he wants to get a world title opportunity. Maynard here, more accurate.
Well, that was a good combination of punches from Maynard, and a lot of them landed.
I wonder what Denzel Lewis's scorecard is saying. Ayers is taking a lot on the way in. And this is against a fellow who does not have a good knockout record. What he does have is this hand speed. He's picked his punches better too, certainly in these last couple of rounds.
He's kept to his game plan, either very close in or at long range, and just relying on the quick combinations, and then either tie him up or move, and it's worked well for him.
Well, this could be a nightmare for Ayers. He's certainly losing this final round at the moment, but there's time. Could well depend on these final 3 minutes, though. We've learnt not to try and second-guess the referees.
Well, a lot of these rounds have been quite close, but for me, it's been a good performance from Maynard. He's kept to his game plan. He's landed the better punches.
Ayers trying to apply the pressure, but Maynard holding on for dear life. I think he's getting fairly tired, Maynard here, but you can see how much this means to him. The 26-year-old from Birmingham, who may well be believing in there that he's on the verge of a massive victory that will propel him right into the forefront of our domestic lightweights.
Well, it would be a terrific victory if he can get it, but he's winning the last round. Maynard, he's just got to keep out of range, keep letting the punches go. And Michael Ayers has looked frustrated right through this fight.
Effective shots. There aren't too many of them in these later stages, but earlier in the round they came from Maynard. Caught again on the way in, Ayers, and Maynard with only 20 seconds to go. Glenn and I think he's done enough here to win this fight, barring some late drama. But will he be given it?
Well, he certainly won the last round. If he can hang on till the end on my card, and I think that would give him a 2-point win, but whether he gets it or not...
Here we go, we'll find out. Yes, indeed, a great win for Anthony Maynard. Well, we told you the Cat were confident. We told you they were. We told you Pat Caldell was prepared to put money on Maynard winning, and he'd have won too, wouldn't he? Maynard landing with significantly more punches, says the computer. He threw more as well. His hand speed got him there. That is a big, big win, but what a terrible setback for Michael Ayers.
Yes, his face, he looks really, really dejected by that. Just couldn't get the work going the way he wanted it to. Was frustrated throughout the fight, but a very good victory for Maynard, and that really does propel him up the ladder. He kept to his game plan, and it works for him so well.
Well, Maynard could be thinking of fights with Colin Dunn or Billy Schwer or Wayne Rigby in the next few months after that. Sensational, really.
Ladies and gentlemen, at the end of 8 hard rounds of boxing, the referee scorecard reads Michael Ayers, 77 points, Anthony Maynard, 78 points. The winner, Anthony Maynard.
3 rounds to 2. It was scored with the rest of them even.
Wry smile there from Michael Ayers, but a few moments ago when he looked out over the top rope and into the crowd, well, you just felt as though he was looking at the pound notes being ripped up in front of him. Come a long way, and one has to ask now, what is left for Ayers? And are the younger generation just beginning to move onto his territory? Men like Maynard here, 26 years of age, Midlands area champion, maybe a man on the way up. Lost 1 or 2, but always had promise. Let's have a word with Ian Darke.
Well, Anthony, what a huge, huge win. What do you think the importance of that is for you?
Oh, very important. Very important. I come in here knowing I was going to be the underdog, you know. And I knew what things winning this fight could bring for me, you know. I knew it was tough. I knew it'd be tough. I knew it'd be a tough fight.
It seemed you had the hand speed and the style to beat him and score what was a sensational win, really.
I thought I won by more than 1 round, personally, but that's the way the judges see it.
Doesn't matter, you got the verdict. Doesn't matter about the margin.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. I was quite surprised at his punching power. Hits like a kicking mule, you know what I mean? Hits hard, but I knew that I could do it. I knew I could beat him.
Let's bring in your trainer here, one of the great featherweights we've produced down the years, Pat Cowdell. Now, Pat, how good is this fellow?
I've been telling everybody all around the country how good Tony is. People haven't seen the best of him yet. We took this fight at 9 days' notice, I think. So, you know, what can the kid do if he's, you know, if he's given notice?
It's a big shock, isn't it? Because a lot of people watching will have never heard of him.
Well, that's right. There's a lot of people, there's a lot of fighters around the country people haven't heard of. You know, whether that's down to politics in boxing or not, I don't know. But this is one kid you're going to need a lot more of.
What are the plans now, would you think, for him?
Well, we've got to sit down now and look at where we go from here, really. You know, it was an hard fight for him, so he's going to have a week off, come back in the gym and then back to basics.
But he's propelled himself right into the forefront of British lightweights with a great win. Well done tonight.
Thank you.